On August 15th, 1096, an event occurred that would change the course of history entirely. This event would later be known as the First Crusade. The First Crusade was the beginning of a series of religious battles between mainly Christian and Muslim people. The main goal for both these groups was to either capture or defend the city of Jerusalem and the Holy Land. This region has long been considered an area of significant religious importance to both groups as well as others. The First Crusade was crucial in the impact and spread of both Christianity and Islam throughout the world. Because of this event's major importance, it led me to wonder, how did the First Crusade in Europe and the Middle East impact the Christian and Islamic expansion around the globe? While researching this topic, I was able to conclude that the First Crusade in Europe and the Middle East had a massive impact on Christian and Islamic expansion around the globe, and as a result, it influenced later crusades. Furthermore, the impact of the First Crusade and subsequent crusades rippled, and the church's power ultimately exploded as a result. The First Crusade officially began on November 18, 1095, when Pope Urban II called together the clergy and the noblemen of the Catholic Church in France and encouraged them to go to the aid of fellow Christians in the East and take back Jerusalem. This meeting became known as the Council of Clermont and was the spark of the First Crusade. Pope Urban declared a religious voyage to the Holy Land to take back what they believed to be theirs. The assembly mainly discussed the motives and beliefs behind recapturing the Holy Land. The Christians believed that it was their divine and holy right to control the land that they believed God gave to them. Throughout the crusade, there were many influential characters that impacted the events of the religious voyage, two of which were Pope Urban II and Godfrey of Bouillon. Urban II was the head of the Catholic Church during the time and was mainly known for sparking inspiration for the First Crusade. Pope Urban II was born in 1042 and later died in 1099 following the end of the crusade. During the Pope's tenure, he was focused on reuniting the churches following the land divides between France and the Byzantine Empire, which had created animosity and distrust between the two empires. The Council of Clermont and the crusade following it were the key goals of the Pope. The crusade was very influential in gathering and uniting the Christian church, as it brought many people together to fight for something they all believed in, regardless of national interests. Godfrey of Bouillon, on the other hand, was a very important military leader during the First Crusade. Lord Bouillon was a descendant of Charlemagne, was born in 1060 to a very wealthy family in France. He was titled nobleman and joined the crusade with a long history of leadership and successful battles. In 1076, he became known for being a great military leader and was recognized with his own duchy. During the crusade, Godfrey led a mighty troop of over 40,000 men throughout Europe down to the Holy Land in Constantinople, where he aided Alexius Comnenus, the Byzantine emperor at the time, through many tough battles against the Turkish opposition. Two of the most important battles that Godfrey helped win were the battles of Nicaea and Antioch. Antioch specifically was known for being one of the most crucial battles during the entire crusade. At the conclusion of the crusade, Godfrey relented to the pressure to become the leader of Jerusalem, and he took the title of Defender of the Holy Sepulchre rather than being named king. He later died in 1099 by an arrow piercing through him during his rule and was immortalized in legend as a perfect Christian knight. Throughout the 4 years of the crusade, there were many battles. These many battles took place in different holy locations around Europe and the edge of the Middle East, most being in Jerusalem and Constantinople. The most notable and important of these battles were the Battle of Dorylaeum, the Siege of Antioch, the Siege of Murat, and most importantly, the Siege of Jerusalem. The Siege of Antioch lasted from October 1097 to June 1098. This siege was a major turning point in the Crusaders' campaign, as by the end of it, the Muslim-held city was captured by the Christians, helping them on their way to Jerusalem, their final destination. The Battle of Antioch consisted of many long and brutal battles, and many lives were lost. One crusader during the siege of Antioch stated, "On the third day, moreover, before the nones of March, that is the first Friday, our princes decided to erect a fortress at the western gate of the city. This fortress, a very short ballista shot away from on the same day, an attack of the Turks in which they killed 22,555 of our men. We killed 800 of the enemy." This quote helps capture the Crusades were really like, and how brutal and vast some of the battles truly were. The Battle of Jerusalem was the climax of the crusade, and it is known as the most vital part of the event. This battle lasted from June 7th, 1099 to July 15th, 1099. This battle saw the Crusaders eventually seize the city of Fatimid Caliphate, a strong Muslim group that controlled the city. This siege led to the building and growth of the kingdom in Jerusalem. The most important thing about this battle was its impact on religious expansion. This battle, like the battles and sieges that led to it, was extremely key in the growth of the Christian empire. And now that they had control of one of the most important cities in the world at the time, the growth and popularity of the church increased drastically. This also improved the wealth and economy of the church as they opened to different trade routes, and they gained many riches during the crusade. Islam, on the other hand, took a huge hit as they had lost a critical asset in Jerusalem. Because of this loss, the expansion in popularity that they had previously gained was halted and even reversed, although they still remained a powerhouse politically as they controlled the Middle East. To fully understand the influence and importance of the First Crusade, you have to understand the Holy Land and its importance in history. The Holy Land is a place of great significance inside and outside of religious beliefs. For many Christians, its importance stems from where their religion originated, and for Muslim people, it is a place of great significance as they believe that the Prophet Muhammad ascended from heaven in Jerusalem. The Holy Land's central role in multiple religions through the centuries makes it a perfect example as a frontier in history. Just as vital as the Holy Land itself, the Crusades were extremely influential. The Crusades influenced many major historical events following it and was very impactful on the growth of Christianity. The First Crusade directly impacted and influenced subsequent crusades that followed. Because of the Crusades' influence on the world at the time and the way regions were controlled and religion spread or did not spread in those regions, we have a different global landscape than we might have without the Crusades. The historical significance of the First Crusade and the outcome is pivotal to the world we live in today. Currently, Christianity and Islam are the two leading religions in population and wealth, and part of this stems from the Crusades. These impacts that the Crusades has had help show and prove how influential it was as a frontier to this day. The First Crusade in Europe and the Middle East during the years of 1095 to 1099 had a massive impact on Christian and Islamic expansion around the globe. Its influence on later crusades and the Crusades' impact on the Church's power is central to the development of Christianity as we know it today. The Crusades' impact on modern-day society and all the generations between that time and to today.